Warwickshire are on the road to Lords to meet either Durham or Nottinghamshire in the Royal London One Day Cup final on September the 20th after they eased past Kent Spitfires in the semi-final at Edgbaston, winning the game by 6 wickets with 21 balls to spare. Rob Key won the toss and elected to bat on what looked to be a surface full of runs, and Sam Northeast and Key did what they had to do, and that was to get the scoreboard ticking over while, importantly, keeping wickets in hand during the 10 overs of power play. In that time, the two Spitfires openers put on 41 runs, just about the ideal start for their team. But the moment the field went out, Kent lost their captain, Key, who went after Boyd Rankin and mistimed a shot off the tall Irishman to Jitam Patel to go for 23. Rankin was bowling with pace and struck again 6 overs later, when Northeast, having made 31 of 45 balls, got a leading edge to offer the bowler a simple return catch. That left the Spitfires on 62 for 2 in the 17th over, and they were 3 down with 84 runs on the board in the 23rd when Patel found some turn and Ben Harmison sliced a drive to Laurie Evans to fall for 21. Each of the batsmen out had made a start, but none had gone on. Could Fabian Cowdrey or Brendan Nash alter that stat? The answer was no, as the latter was run out as he tried to hustle the field, but was removed after some very quick thinking from Tim Ambrose. Nash was on his way for 21, with Kent on 111 for 4 just past the halfway stage of their innings, and if that was an impressive bit of fielding from the keeper, then what about this from Evans at deep mid-wicket? Darren Stevens on his way back to the shed for 3. It was now all going the way of the Bears, and the Spitfires were desperate for a partnership. Cowdrey and Alex Blake crawled the total along to 136 for 5 when they took the batting power play after 35 overs. It was time for some much-needed improvisation. But as well as that, there was also the end of Blake. Another out in the 20s as he went after Oliver Halland-Dolby and found Evans in the deep, and that left the visitors in more trouble on 153 for 6. 5 runs later and Kent was 7 down. Cowdrey, who'd batted well for his 34, was another to be undone by the pace and bounce, this time from Halland-Dolby, who was pulled straight to Will Porterfield at mid-wicket. Rankin was outstanding, and in the next over he had Mitch Claydon caught behind, and now the Spitfires were right up against it. The Bears right on top with Kent on 161 for 8, still with 9 overs remaining. Rankin ended with the exceptional figures of 3 for 34 from his 10 overs, and it was left to Sam Billings to try to get his side to a competitive total. He did manage 3 fours in the penultimate over, in which the 200 was finally posted, the young keeper maintaining his astonishing form in a competition in which he's really made a name for himself this summer. He struck the only 6 of the innings in its very last over, and that took his partnership with David Griffiths to 50 off 55 balls, the final score being 215 for 8, Billings with a runner ball 40, which had at least given his side something to defend. So realistically, the Spitfires needed early wickets, and in the 7th over, with a total on 18, Warwickshire did lose their first, Porterfield clipping a straight ball from Claydon straight into the hands of Northeast at mid-wicket after making 10. Both Claydon and Stevens delivered parsimonious opening spells, which meant that the home team had to settle for 30 runs from the power play, with Jonathan Trott soon looking in fine form. He became the leading English run scorer in this 50-over competition, with a couple of hundreds in the group matches, and he was soon picking the length of the deliveries really well, playing his shots in typical Trott style, using the wide open spaces in the leg side to very good effect. There have been a few pundits latterly who said that an England side with Trott in it at number 3 would be a better outfit. He dominated a 50-run stand with Chopra, which came off 65 deliveries. 20 overs in and the target was down to 130, and Trott was soon at his half-century of 49 balls, the 5th time in 8 innings in this competition that he'd got at least that far. He'd struck 6 boundaries and was playing the innings of the match, not for the first time this year. The Bears' 100 was up in the same over, the 23rd. Chopra was by no means at his fluent best, but he stuck it out well to help bring up a 100-run partnership with Trott, the 3-figure stand coming off 119 balls. Trott had just been dropped by Griffiths, but then cut the same man into the hands of Nash at backward point, It was a rather tame end to a classy knock which was ended on 58 with a total on 128 for 2. So now Chopper's innings increased in its importance a little. He recorded a patient 50 off 89 balls, an innings containing only the 3 fours. His job was now to see the game through. But to the next ball he faced, he moved too far across his stumps and was trapped in front by a turner from Adam Riley, and suddenly from nowhere we had a game on our hands. It would have been a better one had Ambrose not have been put down by Billings up to the stumps to Stevens. It was Kent's last sniff. Evans and Ambrose then eased any tension that may have been building in the home dressing room, and by the time we got into the last 10 overs, just 36 runs were required. As far as Warwickshire were concerned, the previous few overs had been nothing more than a blip, and their victory was just about assured. Before it was, Evans on 24 dragged a ball from Griffiths back onto his stumps, but by that stage only 17 were needed, and the Bears had all the time in the world to get them. The winning hit was supplied by Ambrose, who ended unbeaten on a 59-ball 51 with his 5th boundary. The victory made it a canter really, with the home side showing both their experience and strength to take themselves into the Lord's final. They ended on 219 for 4 and took the game by 6 wickets with 21 balls to spare, and their dreams of claiming a double and possibly even a treble in this remarkable season are still alive. They will find out whether it's Durham or Nottinghamshire to play at Lord's when those two sides have their semi-final on Saturday.